Every concept mentioned in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is deeply rooted in the Vedic wisdom. Similarly, every word that is used in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is thoroughly steeped in the Vedic principles and Vedic teachings. Let us explore the first word of Yoga Sutras, Atha, in order to illustrate this. The Rigveda mentions one of the sublime principles to be followed when it comes to composing sacred texts such as the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Saktumivatita una punanto yatra dhira manasa vachamakrata atra sakhaya sakhyani janate bhadraisham lakshmir nihitadhi vachi. Meaning, the wise people use their intellect like a sieve and filter out unnecessary words and zero in on the best words that fit the particular occasion. And only those fortunate people who have matching levels of intellect will understand and appreciate the wisdom behind the selection of such wise words. The auspicious goddess Mahalakshmi resides in the words of such wise people. Further, in Mahabhashya, the great commentary on the Sanskrit grammar, Patanjali himself says, Ekaha Shabdaha Samyajñataha Shastranvitaha Suprayuktaha Swarge Loke Kamadhuk Bhavati. Meaning, one appropriate word which is highly meaningful, Shastranvitaha, meaning perfectly expresses a concept, and Suprayuktaha, when it is placed at the perfect place, that can carry the reader to a heaven of words. With the knowledge of these principles at the back of our mind, let us examine the first Yoga Sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. So, Yoga Sutras begins with the word Atha. Let us look at the tradition that lies behind this wise choice of words Atha. Mangaladini, Mangalamadhyani, Mangalantani, Shastrani. This is one of the sacred principles of writing Shastras, sacred texts such as the Yoga Sutras. Mangaladini, meaning the sacred texts always have to begin with auspicious words, be replete with auspicious words and thoughts and concepts throughout, and also end with auspicious words. In other words, sacred texts do not begin with words and ideas such as, it was a scary, dark, rainy night. Such a thing will not happen. They always begin with auspicious words and invoke auspiciousness, a sense of well-being in the readers, and the text continues to be in that same spirit and also ends with auspicious words. Not only Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, but if we look at sacred texts that expound the other schools of philosophy, Shaddarshanas, they also begin with the word Atha. For example, Bhikshu Sutras or Brahma Sutras begin as Athato Brahma Jignasa. Similarly, Purva Mimamsa Sutras begin as Athato Dharma Jignasa. Atha Siksham Vyakhyasyaamaha. This is how Siksha Shastra, which explains the phonetics of Sanskrit language, pronunciation of Sanskrit sounds, etc., begins. So, this is how we notice that the sacred word Atha figures prominently in most spiritual works. Not only philosophical works such as Yoga Sutras of Patanjali or Brahma Sutras, even some of the Ayurvedic works from ancient times also begin with Atha. A great example is the well-known Ayurvedic text Ashtanga Hrudayam, Sharira Sthanam, Chapter 1, Sutra 1. Athato Garbhavakranti Shariram Vyakhyasyaamaha. Here also the Ayurvedic text is beginning with the word Atha. So, we said sacred scriptures have to begin with auspicious words, and in Yoga Sutras, the given auspicious word here is Atha. Now, let us examine why Atha is considered as a sacred expression. Omkaraschata Shabdascha Dvavetau Brahmanah Pura Kantham bhitva viniryatau tenemau mangalau smrutau. The Puranas teach us that when the Supreme Lord Mahavishnu wanted to bring the creation from unmanifest state to a manifest state, he first created Brahma and taught him all the Vedic wisdom, Vedic sciences, spiritual principles, etc. And then instructed him to bring the universe into existence. And at that time, having received all the sacred wisdom of the Vedas from Lord Mahavishnu, Brahma uttered Om Atha and began the process of creation. That is why the sounds Om as well as Atha are considered as the most sacred expressions. Even from Sanskrit grammar viewpoint, the word Atha has some symbolism. Atha belongs to a special category of words known as avyayas in Sanskrit grammar. These avyayas are indeclinable, meaning regardless of the gender, the person, the tense, etc., it stays the same and does not change. This symbolizes Purusha, the higher self, which does not change based on time or space, etc., as opposed to Prakriti, which is constantly changing and evolving. In the Sanskrit alphabet, A is the first sound for the first 32 sounds of Sanskrit alphabet, 32 letters. Tha is the first letter for the remaining letters of Sanskrit alphabet. So, Atha has significance in this way also. Similarly, if we look at Sri Vidya, in the Shodashi Traya, Akatha, this is how it begins. So, from when we look deeper into Sri Vidya also, we will understand the significance of Atha. So, this is how there is so many Vedic principles and teachings as well as Vedic wisdom behind the choice of the first word Atha in Yoga Sutras. And this continues throughout the Yoga Sutras. Om.